Welcome to Touring Backroads France. In this video, we'll look at 5 lesser-known places in Bordeaux and explore some of the other side of the Gironde River, which isn't as often visited by tourists.
Hey, we're back in Bordeaux today. We're going to go to the Musée Mer Marine. Let's go visit.
When visiting the French city of Bordeaux, you'll of course want to see the major sites. During a first trip or a short stay, you'll visit the Place de la Bourse, the Jardin Public, eat in a nice restaurant or two, perhaps do some shopping along the famous Rue Sainte-Catherine. You might take the tramway or visit some of the major museums. But what about some other places for next time? For today's trivia question, what are the names of the 2 sides of the river in Bordeaux? Listen attentively until the end and you'll hear the answer. If not, I'll inform you at the end of the video. Number 5. L'Eglise Sainte-Croix. Situated just a short walk from the train station and just 1 tram stop down. At Sainte-Croix, this small church has a fascinating history and is much less crowded than larger religious sites like the Basilica Saint-Michel or the Cathedral Saint-André. Starting as an abbey in the 7th century, it was originally built as a church in the 11th century, then destroyed during the French Revolution and built afterwards in its current form. It now holds the sacred relics of Saint Moumoulan, one of the patron saints of the city, which have been here since the 19th century. A portrayal of Christ on a cross without the traditional crown of thorns is also a point of interest, as well as the large Baroque-era organ built over 3 years in the 18th century by Dom Bedos and known by musicians throughout Europe. Restored in 1997, it is regularly used for concerts. The building itself has an extensive history. There's a lot more information in the French language link in the description. Number 4. Le Bateau. It's important to know that when you buy any tickets or passes on public transportation in Bordeaux, they're valid not only for the tramway, but also for buses and the boat ferry service. Located in several strategic locations along both sides of the river, they allow for quick crossings between the locations I mentioned in this video, among many others. Currently, there are 3 crossing routes with a total of 9 stops. Line 2 is the most central one, with the stops Stalingrad and Darwin located on the right bank, la rive droite, and 2 stops on the extensive left bank, la rive gauche, where you can embark next to the Place de la Bourse at Quinconce, or visit the sprawling commercial complex at the hangars, les hangars, the former warehouse district. From the Wine Museum, La Cité du Vin, you can cross to Lormont on Line 1. Further upriver, Line 3 transfers passengers over a longer distance from the right bank to the suburb of Bègle on the left bank. All in all, a practical way to save time and an enjoyable way to see the city on a nice day. Number 3. The Garonne district. Popular with both tourists and locals, especially at lunch and dinner times, the Garonne food market, called Les Halles du Garonne in French, features a cooperative restaurant and beverage venue where all vendors use the same common dishware and shared eating spaces, both indoor and outdoor. A large variety of foods are available here. There are often daily specials in addition to the regular menus. I stopped in for a fantastic lunch special of salmon, vegetables, and flavored rice for the reasonable price of €12.90. A good choice on a hot summer day. If you're into rock climbing, France's highest climbing wall, called Vertigina, recently opened at the Renaissance Hotel just next door. Installed on the exterior walls of a former industrial site used to store grain, these silos can be scaled to a height of around 100 feet. When I stopped in for a coffee on a nice sunny morning, the staff proudly mentioned that the youngest climber on record was just 4 years old and climbed all the way to the top. Opened in 2024, it has proved challenging even for experienced climbers due to its unusual urban setting and height. It is currently the tallest outdoor climbing wall in France. Number 2. Darwin Ecosystem. This former barracks and French military site has been converted to accommodate a number of different activities. Located in the Bastide neighborhood on la rive droite, or right bank of the Gironde River, It's a unique vibe, and definitely worth a visit if you're on a multi-day stop in Bordeaux.
Okay, next up is the Darwin ecosystem, the Darwin ecosystem. Former military barracks converted over into a mixed-use site. There's a lot of restaurants, different shops, kind of a kitschy little place, cool place to have lunch.
You can use the bateau ferry to cross the river to the docks at Darwin on Line 2, and it's just a few hundred feet walk across a small park to get there.
One thing I would say about this side of the river is it's a lot cooler over here with all the green spaces, and there are blackberries growing all along the riverbank, so this time of year you can actually pick them and eat them if you want to. Might want to wash them off first. Oh, looks like there's some kind of nice restaurants over here. This one looks pretty good. A little pricey, but menu looks good.
Hard to describe in one sentence or even a paragraph. People around Bordeaux call this an alternative site. There's really a bit of everything here. Eco-friendly living, good dining, arcade games, craft workshops, a skate park, open-air market, nightlife, small shops. The list goes on and on. Everyone I talked to in Bordeaux enjoyed going there, with a good mix of locals and tourists, depending on the time of day and the time of year. This brings us to number 1, le Musée Mer Marine. This hidden gem sits nestled between some of the larger and more frequented museums in Bordeaux. Full admission is around 14 euros at the time of this video, and the shortest of visits will take at least an hour. There's a lot to unpack in this museum. For the permanent exhibits, the large number of impressive models covers basically every category of ship or boat that has ever existed. Large displays and detailed explanations will interest anyone with a background of maritime history. The museum covers 3 levels. At the top, a fossil collection from Lebanon traces the evolution of plant and animal species going back hundreds of millions of years. On the second floor, in addition to the numerous boat models, there's an extensive collection of paintings. The museum owns one Monet, which was on loan at the time of my visit. I particularly enjoyed some of the renderings of Bordeaux, Rochefort, and La Rochelle's harbors from many centuries ago. France has an extensive maritime history and currently holds the second largest defensive coastline in the world, requiring significant investment in both commercial and military vessels. The temporary exhibit in summer of 2026 was based around mermaids. Quite a bit of contemporary art was included, but I thought the ties into current efforts at reducing the amount of plastic pollution in the world's oceans was very insightful. If you listen carefully to numbers 2 and 4, you caught the names in French of the 2 sides of the Gironde River, called la rive gauche and la rive droite. The left and right banks of the river denote their position in the direction of flow. Being in a tidal basin, the tide can also affect the water levels and direction. Make sure and check out my other videos about Bordeaux if you haven't seen them. For some practical tips about the Bordeaux tramway system, you can click the link here or in the description. For the top 5 museums, you can click here or the link in the description. As always, if you enjoyed the content here, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Your continuing support is much appreciated and helps the channel grow. You can always turn on notifications by clicking the notification bell and share this video to help YouTube promote educational content. In future episodes, I'll continue to explore the sites occupied by the Knights Templar around Paris, delve into the fascinating history of France's first hover train, and get unexpectedly caught up in the massive Fontainebleau forest fire, as well as a lot more. Stay tuned for future episodes. Until next time, merci et au revoir.